It is time to talk about the things that nobody tells you about getting older as a woman over 50. And yes, there are all the jokes about, you get achy knees, you need about 4 different pairs of reading glasses that you can never find, and you forget why you walked into a room. But I'll bet if you're like me, you are struggling with something much, much deeper than that. And I think it comes down to 4 things. 4 things that shift your mind, your body, and your soul that nobody warned us about. So let's start with the one that catches so many of us off guard. And a lot of women describe it, and I'm going to call it out for what I think it is. I call it the body betrayal. Things start happening to our bodies and we are brushed off, told, oh, it's nothing. But you're going, hang on a minute, hot flushes, sleepless nights, drenched sheets, I know that one well, hair loss, dry skin, anxiety hitting you from left, right and centre. And the doctors say, oh, you'll be fine. And I know friends of mine who've been doubted by their doctors, doubted for their actual lived experience, totally dismissed. And in fact, some doctors really find it easier to put us on antidepressants because we're all crazy, right? Because they can't be bothered to listen to us, to dig deeper. And when it's more than likely that, and listen, a caveat, I'm not a doctor, but it's more than likely that it's perimenopause or menopause. But then for a lot of us, something else feels even more confusing. You wake up, something feels completely off. You used to be like sharp as hell, but you're suddenly like getting angry AF at everything. I've done that. And you just don't recognize yourself. And even if you've been driving for 30 years, out of nowhere, you're suddenly scared to get behind the wheel. You are not the same woman you used to be. But then the weirdest thing about it is you're expected to carry on as if nothing's changed. Don't make a fuss. People are relying on you. So, shh, right? Just get on with it. What the hell? Have you ever had that moment where you think, what is happening to me? Like your body's completely changed the rules and it didn't tell you. Please let me know in the comments. I want to know what your experience is. And the payoff for pushing through is really quite familiar, isn't it? Because we should stay reliable. Then we don't disrupt anything. Whoopee, but the cost of that is we lose our bearings, maybe our marbles, whilst everyone else benefits. So listen, if that's where you are, I truly believe there is nothing wrong with you. You're not imagining it. And we've got to remember, actually, that our mothers and our grandmothers, they couldn't talk about this. They didn't have the language. They didn't have the technological and medical advances, but we can. And as women of the Generation X, the best generation there is, we're not going to suffer in silence anymore. We're actually going to get through it together. The second thing that no one warns us about as women over 50 is what happens when your job, your work stops fitting. Because actually a lot of us build our lives around our careers, our jobs. Psychologically, I think of it as like an identity drift, right? Years or decades of clocking in, day out. And at some point something changes and you might find yourself thinking, I don't want to do this anymore. Or flipping heck, I am so bored. Because like a switch has flipped inside you. And I think it's because we've let our jobs fit. Because we've been taught, especially as women, learn the ropes, work your way up. Be nice to everyone around you. Because of course, we do want women in the workplace. We do want equality. We do want you in leadership positions. And remember, society does not approve of a woman with opinion. You can see it on social media. We are shouted down. If we have an opinion, we are rude. We are bossy. We are uppity. So we do what we're told. Have you ever woken up exhausted? Not because you didn't sleep well the night before, but because you're tired at the thought of facing another day at your job? Or have you ever looked at your career and thought, how did I end up here? How did I end up here? I have. In fact, there was a little celebration of my career last week with some amazing business people. I was called a legendary Brummie. It was awesome. And the host asked me a question from the audience and it said, what would you do differently with your career in journalism? Something like that, right? I looked around the room and I said, do you want the honest answer? And I said, don't do it. And I laugh now, but I've done 30 years of broadcasting. I've faced a lot of racism, doors shut in my face. I've been pushed out of jobs, and my God, it hurt. And it makes me think, was it worth it? Because, it took a toll on my mental health and my well-being. And then I look at it from another side and I go, well, some good did come of it, because I've been able to mentor young women, aspiring journalists, young girls, coach women, all that stuff. So there has been some good, but I also think about, it cost me a lot, right? I definitely lost a lot of myself. And of course, there's a bonus, isn't there, for staying in the same job, grafting, keeping your head down, because you've got your security, check. You've got structure and routine, check. You've got your identity, check. But the true cost of that is you keep turning up as a woman you've outgrown, someone who isn't even you anymore. And you know what? It gets heavier and heavier every day. And if you're beginning to feel like that, girl, you are not ungrateful. It's not that. I don't think it's that. I think what it is you're aware, like something in you is asking for change. And that change doesn't even have to be dramatic. We don't have to burn it all down. You see a lot of these articles on Substack. It's going to burn it all down and start again. But boy, oh boy, we cannot ignore it. I'm a big believer in we've got to listen to the whispers, right? As far as we can, and we've got to figure out how to adjust, how to shape it into something that actually fits who we are now, or fits into something that can help us become the woman that we want to be. Now, the third one we were never warned for. Okay, this is another curveball. We wake up and our tolerance just vanishes into a puff of smoke. You know that girl on social media? We do not care. Yes, we become fully paid up members of the We Do Not Care Club. And we don't care about pretty much anything. Like things we used to manage, the people we used to give the benefit of the doubt, the energy drainers, because they all start to feel like effort, right? And it's funny how it starts as well, isn't it? Because it kind of starts with these little things like tiring conversations, your friend constantly asking for relationship advice. You give it, they don't follow it. I'm done. Like situations that we used to brush off, think nothing of, now they seem to pee us off, and a lot pees me off. And I think that, again, is because we've been told for years, keep the peace, make things work. Stay easy to be around, because we don't want to upset people now, do we? So have you ever walked away from a conversation with someone and you feel completely drained? Or you've thought, why am I still putting up with this? I'd love to know in the comments. And for me, it is about some forms of work, actually. Now, listen, like you, I've got bills to pay. I've never been one to turn down work, but more and more I'm beginning to weigh up. So that job I've been offered, how long is the journey? Have I got the energy to do this? What's the fee? And if I weigh all of that up and I don't think it's worth the fee, then no, I'm not doing it. And it sounds crazy, but that whole sticking with the status quo has a massive personal cost to us, because we disappear from our own lives, and that's not acceptable. If your tolerance has dropped as well, it's not you being the problem. You're actually spotting the problem, because baby, you've hit your 50s and you've carried enough, and now we get to decide what we keep carrying and what we don't. Now, this last one is a crisis that we do actually notice, and that's that some things are ending. Careers, relationships, versions of ourselves. But in the face of that, while men can have their midlife crisis, like they go get the motorbike, they buy the sports car, or go on, they have that affair, women still get told, make it work, stick it out, don't give up. There are so many people relying on you. So when we feel like something reaches its natural end, why do we get questioned? And why do we question ourselves? And no one really questions men. And you felt that, haven't you? That restlessness. Something isn't right anymore, but you can't put your finger on it. I call it the Great Unravelling. And that's not because things are falling apart because of you. It could be that the universe, God, life is just showing you that the thing is finished. But then putting up and shutting up has its benefits, I guess. We don't have to face change, do we? Because no one likes change, right? But no one warned us that the consequence of staying stuck, staying mired in something that doesn't light you up anymore, that doesn't bring you joy, that doesn't fulfill you, the consequence could be, and remember, I'm not a doctor, but the consequence could be the fast track to some quite serious mental health issues. So why do we do that to ourselves? Doesn't make any sense at all. So if you've reached that great unravelling phase, and I've reached it several times before, changed careers several times, you're not behind, you're not too late, you're not a failure, and you don't have to fix everything. Everything has a season. And maybe the thing that feels dead, you know, the relationship, the job, the friendship, it's got to wrap up so that we can begin something new. Well, like I said at the start, the truth is this generation of women who are reaching midlife, us, we were not prepared for this. No one told us about how to handle getting older. We are just trying to handle it the best way we can. And I really think as long as we wake up to the truths, we can harness the power to move forward and to start to build something that fits us instead. And if this rings a bell, please share this with another girl who needs it. And why not watch this next video of mine too? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.